Welcome back to Good Morning Football. We are now joined with maybe our resident fifth host of the show on Tuesdays for sure. We're loving it. He has been killing it his last two appearances. Our favorite guest we've had in recent months, Dan Orlovsky. Welcome back to the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Dan?
What's going on?
Former quarterback, former quarterback of 12 seasons in the NFL. You play with a bunch of teams, play with a bunch of guys. And as Kay was saying, you are our first guest in our shiny new digs. What are your thoughts?
I'm honored. You know, I see the pinball, I see all the memorabilia, energy outside. It's good to be here.
One of the things we like doing with you is we like going around the horn. We did it with the rookie quarterbacks last week. We did it with the veteran quarterbacks. Now we're going to go with guys who are in the first 5 years of their NFL career in a segment we call Tuesday Morning Quarterback. Guys who are in their first 5 years of their career. We're going to go around the horn, pepper you with questions, and you tell us which one of those young guys is the correct answer.
Okay.
First off, I wish we could kind of, let's think about
Where are those guys in the first
It's
5
Winston,
years?
it's Mariota, it's Wentz, it's Watson, it's
Carr,
Goff, Carr.
Right,
I got you.
Dak Prescott.
Last 5 draft classes. Again, I wish we could kind of, we will. We'll get there.
You just did, Peter.
Let's do it. Here it is. Of those guys right now. Garoppolo's forgotten because he was a second-round pick.
Patty Mahomes.
It's a great list. So let's go first. I'll ask the first one.
How did you forget Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy Garoppolo first.
Let me take a lap.
Which quarterback of this list has the most pure physical talent? Just physical gifts. Who's the guy you're rolling with?
Deshaun Watson. I think when you look at Deshaun Watson, you look at everything. They've got to prepare for everything. So he's just, with everything he's able to do, he's the most talented.
I cannot wait for him to come back.
And also that underrated part of his game, extending plays, giving receivers the ability to run 2 and 3 routes in one play.
Yeah.
That's also another element. All right, let's go with number 2. Which QB in this next generation has the football IQ beyond his years?
So Josh Rosen, and this is the question I really wanted to start, dive into. So when we talk about football intelligence, we go to decision-making at the quarterback position. Decision-making is broken down to really processing information. But everyone throws around that term, and no one really defines it.
Okay, talk about it.
This is what processing information is at the quarterback position. I get my play. One, there's a problem with my play. I want to run the ball to the left. There's too many guys over there. I don't have blockers. I've got to have an answer. 2, there's an opportunity to my play. I've got a post called to Julio. Is there an opportunity for me to throw that ball? Then flip it to the defense. Okay, the defense gets lined up. There's a problem with the defense. I've got 2 blitzers coming to the right. I don't have enough blockers.
Right.
What's my answer? And then there's an opportunity that the defense gives you. They're impressed, man. I want to throw a go ball to AB.
Talk about
That's processing information like that. And so Josh Rosen, when you watch him, there's a play against Memphis last year. He gets a call from the sidelines. He goes to the line of scrimmage, gives the call. And then as he goes to get under center, his body gets like kind of coy, almost like a predator, right? He sees something. And you just see his body peel back just a little bit, and he changes something to the left and the right, and he gives a little hand signal like we did last week. Gives that little hand signal, snap, back pedal, back shoulder fade. That's football intelligence. That's processing information. He's doing it as a 21-year-old kid in college, so he's wise beyond his years.
And there's 80,000 people screaming at you, and it's 3rd and 9, and you have no timeouts, and you have to win this game to get in the playoffs.
And you have to do it 65 times a game within 15-second windows. And you can't be 45 out of 65. You've got to be 100%, 65 out of 65. That's processing information.
So why was he last one taken in the draft? Like, why does he slip to 10? Why does he go 4th out of all these guys if he is so brilliant on the football field?
Because we as people are visual people. And we see candy bars at the checkout aisle at the grocery store, and we want to buy it right away, even though we know it's bad for us. So he necessarily wasn't the sexy pick when it comes to the physical attributes, but his brain is next level.
All right, so you love Rosen, you love Watson. Let's take a turn here. Which one of these young quarterbacks has the most to prove this season, 2018?
So this guy was the Elite 11 darling. He went and won a national title, and then he was the #1 pick. It's Jameis Winston. I've come on the show and said, when you're the #1 pick, the expectation isn't for you to be really good. You've got to go change a franchise. 18 wins in 3 years. When they had the 3 years previous to you getting there, they had 14. That's not enough change. That's accounting for a win a season is not enough. Mind you, when they drafted him, they had Vincent Jackson. They kept Mike Evans for him. They went and got O.J. Howard. Ronald Jones this year. I mean, they've invested Deshaun Jackson as a free agent. They've invested a ton of assets for Jameis to go be the guy. He was taken to dethrone Breeze, Cam, and Matt Ryan. Well, 2 of those 3 guys in the last 3 years have gone to the Super Bowl. So it's time to put up. It's time to go and prove it.
Does he have it?
I think this is the year. I really like what they've done, and I think this is the year to go, but it's time. It's time to go prove that you were worthy of that number 1 pick, because those 18 wins are 2 less than the guy who was taken right behind you, and Marcus Mariota. So it's time to go prove you were worthy of that number 1 pick.
You're saying the number 1 pick, you have to go change the franchise.
Change.
You've been playing this game for a couple minutes now, and you haven't said the number 1 pick in Baker Mayfield as any of these things, but maybe you'll use it here. I want to know which quarterback of this younger generation will be in the, listen, we're all guilty of throwing the GOAT emoji around a lot. Who will be in the GOAT conversation 10 years from now?
I'm certainly not taking a guy who hasn't taken a snap in OTA.
Do it.
You know? So I live in Philadelphia. I cannot go anywhere in Philadelphia where someone doesn't talk to me about how much they love Carson Wentz.
Of course.
When I tell people I live in Philadelphia, they always want to tell me how much they love Carson Wentz and how really good play callers and incredible general managers. Brady had, for the great majority, Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick as his general manager. Joe Montana had Bill Walsh and John McVay, and Peyton had Tom Moore and Bill Polian. Carson Wentz has got Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman. He's got an incredible play caller, remarkable GM, and I think in 10 years, we'll be talking about Carson. Because of those guys, we'll be talking about Carson in that GOAT conversation.
Look around these teams and different rosters of all these young guys, first 5 years in the league. Who's in the best situation for success? Who has the most pieces around them? Who could be the guy who wins because of the guys that he's got at his disposal?
Let's go West Coast.
Okay.
It's Jared Goff. Yeah, never mind what they've done with Akeem
Best
Talib
situation.
and Marcus Peters and bringing in Sue. Never mind his offensive line gave up the 5th least amount of sacks last year. Never mind he's got the best all-around back in NFL. But I feel like when Jared gets the line of scrimmage, it's almost like looking through the Cheesecake Factory menu. You know, like you flip through everything. That looks good. That looks good.
Goes on forever.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I'll have it.
So his 5 top pass catching targets: Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, and Todd Gurley. The lowest yards per catch average last year out of those guys is 12. The lowest
That's
out
crazy.
of that group of 5. The
first
smallest
down.
number
A first down.
is 12.
That's crazy.
That means he can go get 20 completions a game, and he's staring at 4,000 yards.
That's
Just
crazy.
throwing the ball to those 5 guys. Add in Sean McVay. I was in camp last year with those guys. I remember our first offensive meeting, Sean doing some installation, going through the basics of, hey, this is going to be our culture, and then he starts talking football. Offense, if the defense is going to drop down and carry these defenders, we're going to run this. And a defense, if the offense is going to, and he just starts talking football. And I leaned over to Jared and go, bud, you have no idea how lucky you are. This guy's brilliant.
Really?
And I remember watching the Arizona game last year in Arizona. They come out with 2 kind of cut split receiver looks, like mini bunches.
Yep.
One of the guys is Tavon Austin. First play of the game, they bring Tavon over in a short little motion, get him into a bunch, snap the ball. At the snap, he sprints across the line of scrimmage, hand off to Gurley 12 yards. Next play, same formation. Bring Tavon back over. At the snap of the ball, hand it back to him in a jet sweep, fake it to Gurley, 8 yards. Next play.
Talk about it.
Same formation. They bring him over to the side. Right before the snap, Tavon comes in full speed motion, fake to Gurley, huge chunk play action. I mean, Sean McVay is like David Blaine. He's the master illusionist. And I think because of that, with all those things that Goff has in place, he's in the best situation.
All right,
David Blaine of the NFL.
he's like David
You want to
Blaine.
see some magic? Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory menu. I
Yeah.
can listen to you all day.
This is the best.
And you're like the Rain Man right now with this information. All right, so, you know, when I played, I would look at young guys and I would say, I see greatness in them, and maybe there's something I could teach them. I saw Calvin Johnson and I thought, oh, my God.
Carolina this morning. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting the sale of the Panthers to hedge fund manager David Tepper is moving along and may be done today. Now, the next step is for Tepper to sell his minority stake in the Steelers, then get approval by the NFL owners at the league meetings in May. Now, we had told you yesterday how Saints head coach Sean Payton said he'd be open to bringing back Adrian Peterson. Well, apparently the feeling is mutual. AD telling ESPN he would also be interested in a reunion. Peterson playing in 4 games for New Orleans before being traded to the Cardinals, where he appeared in 6 games. According to a police report obtained by NFL Network, Cardinals rookie receiver Christian Kirk was arrested in February and charged with disorderly conduct and property damage after allegedly throwing rocks at cars following a golf tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona. Cardinals were aware of Kirk's arrest before the draft. Dolphins head coach Adam Gase sees big things in running back Kenyon Drake's future. Gase says, quote, "I think we just have a guy that's really looking to bust out." Drake led the NFL with 444 rushing yards over the final 5 weeks of the season in 2017. And when looking at rookie cornerback Dante Jackson, Panthers head coach Ron Rivera, friend of the show, sees shades of Josh Norman in his attitude and swagger. Of Jackson, Rivera saying, quote, "He's got a lot of confidence. You see it on the field, you see it when you talk to him." Jackson telling the team's website, "I don't really do the superhero thing. I wake up like this, just a natural edge." Like Beyonce said, she woke up like that. Wow, you gotta love the swagger from him, right? That is dripping swag.
Yeah, I like the comparison to Josh Norman. It's high praise, but can he rock like a lambada like Josh Norman does in Dancing with the Stars?
See.
I'll have to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Will Sub will talk to you in a bit. This is awesome. We have more top 100 players. I love that they stopped by our show. And the players voted this cat number 62 on the top 100 players of 2018. It is Bills Pro Bowl safety. 5 interceptions this year, a career high. Micah Hyde, and he will join the show after this. But let's go to Twitter because we've got some tweets, and we love them, and we read them during the break. So hashtag GMFB. We're loving the new set. Are you? Joshua Loveless saying it's official. Kyle Brandt, my favorite human.
The backpack dance. I did that.
Into the Tumsula Shuffle.
And then Peter danced like this, and I said it looked like he was milking a cat. I'm not even sure I'm my wife's favorite human, but I like the
I'd say after some of the things you said on the show today, probably not her favorite human.
Maybe not. Thank God Brooke doesn't watch. What a wonderful mother. And happy Mother's Day, belated, by the way.
You might be Catherine McPhee's favorite human, though. Big fan.
I want to go see Waitress. I have the McPhee. I'm not even joking. There's a giant billboard of McPhee out there. She's like our 5th host.
Take Brooke.
I should take Brooke. But Kay, it's only 33 days till Father's Day, so let's go!
Oh, you boys and your Father's Day.
Bring it. I'm a
Hashtag
sensitive girl.
GMFB. What else we got?
The GMFB just moved to the old TRL set, and they added Carson
Why
Daly.
did you say it like GMZ?
I don't know. Did GMFB just move to Carson Daly's old set? No, it kind of does feel like it, though. We all have affection for TRL, right, Nate?
But theirs was around the corner, right?
Yes.
Yes, but there's a resemblance.
It does feel like it, though.
Yeah.
I get a lot of, you look like Brian McFadden.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, does that work?
Like the substitute Carson Daly, yes.
I get a lot of you look like Lala. No, I don't.
Do you look like Lala?
Hashtag GMFB. What else we got, Nate?
What do we got here? We got somebody else tweeting into the show. To Shregs. What you got, Shregs?
Well, I so appreciate you. Okay, I go Electric Light Orchestra when we're doing Name That Music. I can go all day long, guys. I can go Telephone. I can go,
What was the reference? What were you comparing it to the NFL with?
Look,
Brady
Showdown.
and Belichick's
Brady and
relationship.
Belichick.
Showdown, right.
Showdown, one of the great ELO songs. Go find it on their greatest hits, of course. Also in the movie
Showdown.
Kingpin, there's going to be a showdown. These 2 trains are coming, and it's going to be
get
some
Munson
pain.
out in the middle of
Don't
nowhere.
wanna be Munson.
Don't you love that somewhere, someplace in the United States, somebody downloaded or put that song on just because of you this morning?
And they're running through a wall.
What a
It's
way
that
to
good.
start the day. I love it. All right, as I said, Micah Hyde will be joining the show after this. Loved having Dan Orlovsky.